Today, Mihoyo has announced the banner, well, the Yae Miko banner and the weapon banner for version 2.5 of Genshin Impact, and I'm just saying, right, part of my predictions in the video were kind of correct. I know, I'm going to hold it, I finally got something right, but yeah, we're going to talk about the characters on the banner, we're also going to talk about the weapon banner, and whether or not they are, like, good, banners to pull on, especially in the 4-star department. Because, you know, a lot of people aren't going to be at 5-star pity, so we got to make sure the 4 stars are actually worth, you know, for you to put on to increase your pity a bit there. But, yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video and you want to support me, you also feel free to sub, because only 2.9% of people watching videos are subscribed. And if you're new or return to the channel, we're doing Genshin Impact content, and my goal is I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and we are about 1,200 subscribers almost off now, and, you know, we're doing that last little push to get there, so if you want to help be part of it, you guys feel free to sub, you don't have to. Let's get into the video. So, for the Yae Miko banner, or Yae Miko, we have herself, obviously, which she is a Electro sub-DPS character. I believe, at least. Some people said that she can be a DPS. I'm going to wait for her to come out, but she looks like she's going to be a fun character to play with. And as for the 4 stars, we have Diona, Thoma, and Fischl. It's an interesting trio, and there are a lot of things I want to say about this, right? So, first off, Fischl has not been on a banner since version 1.6 on the Klee rerun banner in early June last year, so she's been away for quite a while. It has been speculated, and I was going to make a short on this, that the reason why we've not seen Fischl in such a long time is because the voice actor for Oz on the CN server, he got into a bit of a drama and a bit of a few allegations against him, so it's been speculated as that's why Fischl's not been showing up. I don't know if it's true. I'm not here to prove if it's right or wrong, but that's just what I've been hearing, right? So, we're going to be talking about the characters as a whole. So, yeah, Yae Miko, if you like her, honestly, go for her, right? And, you know, if that's all you want to know, right, I'd say the banner, it is worth pulling on, you know? The supports that you can get are actually fairly decent. Now, let's get into the actual, like, stuff behind the 4 stars, because, obviously, they are on rate up, and they're pretty good. Now, we have to go to the character archive to show off Thoma here, because Thoma is the only 4-star I don't own in the game, which kind of sucks. I did not get him on the Hu Tao rerun banner. And his main thing is that he's a Pyro Shield support unit. He can be a Pyro sub DPS, however, his ratios are really not that high. Now, I might say, oh yeah, 146% skill damage, but his ratio, again, is not that high, and I don't believe his attack is that high either, and he came out, and I'll be real, right, after he came out, not very many people talked about him, but it's kind of sad. But he can be used as a Pyro Shield support character, especially with his burst that will do a tiny bit of skill damage to do elemental reactions, so you can run it with Xingqiu or somebody like that to perform some quick melt or vaporize reactions, and I think that's really the best case use for Thoma. Now, don't bother, I mean, you can use them as a DPS if you really want to. It doesn't matter if anyone tells you can't, you can use them as a DPS. But, I mean, personally, I wouldn't. You can if you want to, but that's my take on it, right? And for Constellations, you know, the Constellations they're not the worst things I've ever seen. Like, you do get, like, cooldown on his shield, and increases duration of his shield, you know, he gets a bit of energy, but it's C6, it seems okay to get. Like, it'll increase the normal, like, attack damage, like, charge and plunging attack damage by 15% when you get a shield. Now, that is a kind of an okay constellation, but there are a lot better characters out there for it. But that being said, if you're going to be pulling on the banner a lot for Yae Miko and you get a C6 Thoma, I wouldn't be too upset about it. Like, you can still use him. I'm probably going to try and build him at least a little bit if I get him on this current upcoming banner. So, that is basically it for Thoma. He also requires a polearm, so I would recommend maybe going for something that either gives you HP, because his shield is increased by his HP, or go for something that does a lot of damage, or energy recharge. So if you're a free-to-play early on, I'd recommend Black Tassel for him mostly, because Black Tassel will give him HP. If you're a mid to late player, your best free-to-play weapon will probably be the Prototype Star Glitter, maybe the Catch if you want to get your DPS numbers up a little bit on your team. And overall, I think he's going to be fair. You know, he's okay. He's not the best. He's not the worst. He's fairly in the middle. Like, you can't go wrong with him, but there's a lot better characters for a lot better jobs out there, you know? Well, yeah, I hope that makes a lot of sense. But let's get on to Diona. Now, Diona is a character that I've used a tiny bit. I leveled up to 52 because I say this every banner because Diona comes out pretty much once every 3 banners or once every 2 updates. I'm trying to break this curse of getting C6 Diona. I've had a C6 since the Zhongli rerun banner in 1.5, and she won't leave me alone. She won't go away. It is what it is, but the main thing you want to do is you want to build energy recharge, or actually no, it's just mainly energy recharge. You can build HP, but I don't think there's any HP bows out there. Unless like oh, Recub does, but I mean you're not going to use Recub. Your best weapon's Sacrificial Bow, and if you don't have that, Favonius Warbow is also just as okay. And then I believe, yeah, it is just Favonius Warbow. You get one for free, and it's alright. You know, it's alright. It will suffice. And you want to like build basically just healing and shielding, because Diona is regarded as one of the best shielders and healers in the game. She can do 2 jobs in one, which makes her very enticing to be put on anyone's team. She also is cryo, so again, you can get the cryo affinity bonus, which increases your crit rate if they've been blitzed by cryo. So overall, like, Diona's fairly decent to have. Her constellations are also really good as well, because like they give her a bit of energy, and also her C2 is really good for co-op if you do play co-op, because it will give all your teammates a shield, which is just a bonus. I mean, her C4 is a bit air, but her C6 does increase your elemental mastery as well if you're inside a healing circle, which means she's also pretty good for doing, you know, high number damage, you know, high number reaction damage with melt or vaporize. Like, the best case scenario, like one of the ones I can think of, like out of my head, like the quickest is Hu Tao Q. While inside that circle, you do a, you know, you get an extra 200% elemental mastery, you know, not 200%, but like 200 elemental mastery. You do an extra bit of damage as well because you got melt. So overall, that's fairly good. And as for like, you know, the things, HP is important. So I'd recommend if you're doing artifacts to try and go down the HP energy recharge route. She's not about damage that much. However, I have seen a DPS Diona and it was kind of fun. It did look kind of funny and goofy. I do love it though, but the main thing that I would build is if you want to like use her for her main like strengths, which is healing and shielding, I'd recommend just going full into HP energy recharge, because it's going to help you quite a lot, and her shielding isn't even that bad. I'd say it's up there with like shield strength and Genshin Impact, so you'll be able to tank quite a few things with it, and also you can heal as well, so it's all good. Also you get a bit of movement speed as well, but it doesn't really matter that much. But lastly on my list of 4-star characters to go through is Fischl. Now, Fischl, she's an Electro support. She used to be my Electro DPS when I started playing, but I didn't know any better. But she's been moved to the support tab for me. You can run her as a DPS if you want to with Oz. You can. But personally, I think she shines best as a support character. Now, I like to run the stringless with her. Elemental Mastery is not that good on Fischl, because, I mean, it's a lot better now after they've released that Elemental Mastery buff in like 1.6, but you know, the reason why you want to use it is because it increases your elemental skill and burst damage by a decent amount. At R5 it's 48%, and that's really good. The other option I used to use was Wind Blue mode. Again, it's okay, but if you know, and if you don't have either of these, again, Favonius Warbow doesn't do you too wrong here. And then you can also run a funny Fischl physical DPS with Compound Bow. It used to be the really cool thing at the start of the game. I kind of miss it. I want to bring it back a bit, so I might do a Compound Bow Fischl build just for fun. As for artifacts, I mean, I'm doing 2-piece Thundering Fury because she's completely broken right now. But if I was to recommend you an artifact set, like right now, I'd recommend like a mix of Thundering Fury, maybe Emblem of Severed Fate for the energy recharge, or you can also throw in Noblesse Oblige if you want to use your burst. You know, if you're getting your maximum out of your burst damage. Personally, I find Fischl's turret, which is at E, to be doing the most damage. But her also suffices as well for doing quite a decent amount. Now, obviously with Fischl as well, you want to get a lot of constellations. She's really good at C0. There are people out there who are still C0 after getting her for free at 1.1. So shout out to all my homies who do have her at C0 after 1.1. You guys have been holding on for so long. I respect it. But the main thing is that her C6 is extremely good, because whenever you attack somebody, and if you've got a character like Yomiya, which, you know, spam attacks quite a lot to no avail, you know, well, not to no avail, but to a lot of avail. Like Fischl's Oz will just shoot like a an attack every time like your Mia will attack, and that will do 30% of your damage as electro damage, which is good for reaction damage as a whole. So her C6 really brings her out, but you know, her C1 and 2 is also pretty good as well. Like, C2 is also really nice. I do like it quite a lot. Now, obviously, I've gone straight into the bird. You can also level up her ult, but if you're doing physical, like Fischl builds, you can do normal attack as well. Overall, she's a must pull. Diona's a must pull. Thoma's an okay pull. If you like him, you like him. You know, if you don't, you don't. You know, he's not. You know, he's still pretty cool. But is this banner a must pull? I would say, yeah. Honestly, you should pull on it. Or you can wait until you see what the banner is for the second half of the update, because Raiden Shogun could be really good if she comes back with Kujo Sara. That's just my thoughts. But they've also announced the weapon banner. So the weapon banner has Yae Miko's new catalyst, which it's only good for Yae Miko or Lisa. So you know, if you really like your Yae Miko, I'd say go for it. If not, just I'd stay far away from that weapon banner as far as possible, because the other weapon is the Primordial Jade Cutter. Now, I'm thinking, Fred, the Primordial Jade Cutter is one of the best weapons in the game, and I would agree. Yes, it is one of the best weapons in the game, but it's very similar to what they did with the Kokomi banner, where they put on Kokomi's weapon, which would only help Kokomi and Barbara, and then they put the Primordial Jade Cutter on to make the banner look more enticing. Now, that's the thing, really. I don't think the weapon banner is worth pulling on overall, because you could get Yae Miko's catalyst, and whilst it's still good, you can't really get the maximum potential out of it unless you're using Yae Miko or Lisa. And I don't really, you know, want to pull on it because I've already got Primordial J Cutter, but yeah. The 4-star weapons though, they're fairly okay. You get Wavebreaker's Fin, which I use on Shenhe. It's pretty nice. I do like it quite a lot. You also get Stringless, which is really good for Fischl. There's Sacrificial Sword, which is great for Xingqiu. But there's the Eye Perception, which I mean, nobody uses the Eye Perception anymore. It's not that good. There's a lot better alternatives out there. And then there's also the Pain Slasher. Just don't, just get that away from me. My eyes are bleached. But yeah, is the weapon banner worth pulling on? No. Is the character banner worth pulling on? Absolutely. Let me know down below what banners are you guys considering pulling on, because I'm interested to know what everyone's thinking. But I hope you're all having a great day. Take care, and I'll see you guys in another video really soon. Have a lovely day, everyone.